So I am speaking to the book called Mutual Aid that was written by Dean Spade. So the book itself is short, it's like 130 pages, and was published kind of amidst the pandemic as really a response to both the emergence of mutual aid as a form of communities organizing themselves together, as well as a pushback on kind of the media and political rhetoric saying, look at how great mutual aid is, and kind of leaving it at that. And really, it's making this kind of two-pronged argument throughout the whole thing. From kind of the pre-industrial times through our current moment, neighbors have always looked out for one another, and that has been the key to survival. It hasn't come through the workplace. It hasn't come through the government. It's come through the kind of community space. So that is the first argument that's being made. And kind of that question around like, how do we do this better? How do we do it more effectively? And Spade really makes the argument that it can't stop there. So if we're talking about mutual aid and kind of its like radical potential, it's that mutual aid is also the site of critical interrogation, critical consciousness raising, at which point folks are beginning to question, why is it that we're reliant upon our neighbors for these things that we need to survive well? So it has to do both of those things is kind of the argument that gets made, as well as Spade really makes this argument that like mutual aid also serves as a site where it can be co-opted really easily by paternalism, by saviorism, by people that come in with lots of degrees and say, oh, like your mutual aid network is cute, but we're going to take it from here. Thank you for what you've done. And it kind of reinforces this pattern of folks being disempowered. So I'm currently an assistant professor of sustainable rural economic development at Northland College. And one of the projects that I've taken on since I've moved up there has been working with this kind of residence group in a bedroom community that's really raising questions about like, what is the future of this place? And has gone through this kind of cycle of the city managers not giving us a vision for where we're trying to go. Our local leaders aren't giving us a vision of where we're trying to go. I guess we have to do it ourselves. What are the resources that we have that we can pool to make this a sustainable place economically, environmentally, socially, so that all living beings can thrive? And that is a really generative question that has also elicited some really interesting conversations around the structural limitations that rural communities in Wisconsin are facing. So it's, why don't we have political power? Why can't we influence policy the way that we want to get more resources? So I see this group doing both of those things and leveraging the resources that they have internally to make meaningful change. And I think there is that spirit that's starting to grow, and that we can see it everywhere from kind of large metro areas like Madison to these tiny rural communities.